Well, I was so profoundly sorry to hear the news about Willard Scott passing away. I knew Willard very, very well, and he was a special man, more special than I think a lot of people even knew. I first met Willard when I was a meteorology student at the University of Michigan. Actually, we had a family trip to New York, and through a connection, I visited him on the Today Show in New York. It was, I think, Christmas week of 1980, and Jessica Savage and Jane Pauley were actually anchoring that day with Willard. And as a present, I brought Willard some of my mom's apricot strudel, her homemade strudel, which he just devoured one of them and he shared all the rest with the staff. And then it was a great visit. He showed us all around. And then about 3 years later, I was working here at Local 4, and during that time, I had gotten contact lenses, lost my glasses, and I'd grown a mustache. And remember, Willard meets hundreds, thousands, millions of people every year. So 3 years later, he's in Detroit to do a live shot. They're giving him a tour of the building. He comes into the weather office, and he looks at me, and he gets this quizzical look on his face, and he says, "Oh my God, did you bring any?" And I said, "Bring what?" And he said, "Did you bring any of that strudel?" And I said, "I didn't even know you were coming." So the fact that he remembered me, even though my appearance had actually changed quite a bit, 3 years later was just astounding. So the next time he came to Detroit, a few years later, he was doing live shots from the Rooster Tail. This time I had word that he was coming into town, so I got my mom to make some of that strudel, brought it down to him, and he went on to just talk about my mom and rave about her strudel on national TV. So he loves my mom's strudel. And then there's one other encounter with Willard that'll really show you how special he was. As many of you know, he wore a toupee, and back in the 1980s, early 90s, he never took that toupee off. You never saw him without it. Well, in 1989, I was going through a real rough cancer battle, and I'd lost all my hair, and I was wearing a wig. And he was speaking at the Adcraft Club luncheon in Detroit, and I went to the luncheon and went up ahead of time to say hello to him, and I told him I was going through cancer and that I was wearing a wig, and he looked at me and he pulled the toupee off and he said, "Hey, so am I. Yeah, this is a rug." And remember, he didn't do that publicly anywhere, and just he wanted me to feel better about the fact that I was going through what I was going through and had lost all my hair, and that he did that in front of a whole bunch of people. It just meant the world to me. I mean, Willard was a truly special man. He touched so many people's lives in so many ways, and I'm just so sorry to hear the news that he's passed away.